Well, hello folks. We are in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, just north of Nashville, on some kind of a big snake-like lake. It goes all up and down like this, and we're in one of these little Corps of Engineers parks that is really, they're great setups. They got water and electric, and they're $30, and they have a fantastic bathhouse, shower house, where I think there's 10 individual rooms that has the shower and the bathroom and everything in it. So real nice. You can feel free to do whatever in there and take your time and not rush. It's 40 degrees. And it's supposed to go down to, according to the weather app, it's supposed to go down to 35 tonight. So it's cold and windy. It's real windy. It's been windy since we started this trip. In fact, if you missed my Great Smoky Mountains trip video, the Great Smoky Mountains, Katie's Cove side was ripped apart by 90-mile-an-hour winds, and not quite tornadoes, but they had trees down everywhere. The trails were closed. I don't think the trails are open yet, but the roads are open, so you can get in and camp and do all that stuff. But boy, it was a major disaster. But we are because it was cold and kind of rainy yesterday, we went to bed. What time did we go to bed? He says about 7 o'clock. And so we woke up at 4. It's 5 o'clock now. We've been over to the bathrooms. Obviously not showered or anything, but to drain the facilities. And we're gonna try to get out today and see the town. This is typical Army Corps of Engineers campground. It's on a lake. It's got a boat launch. It's got some really nice campsites, but there's nothing else around. There's no hiking, or there may be a playground near the beach. There's a nice swimming beach and everything, but the water's green and muddy. So we don't think we'll be swimming in the 40-degree air temperature and probably the 30-degree water temperature. So we're going to see if we can search the town for something fun to do and see. And of course, I think we're about 45 minutes from Nashville. So if you come in this area, that's probably the best reason to come to this cheap, nice campground. It's full of the usual Army Corps of Engineers patrons. It's big fifth wheels, Class A's, and 1 or 2 little trailers like I've got. Because it's all but full hookups. It's water and electricity, and they have some 50 amp sites and mostly 30 amp sites, and it's in pretty good shape. They take good care of it, and it looks like they're up in the sites as necessary. Some of them, we had a site when we got here that was a great big full pad. It was a 65-foot long concrete pad that was, I think, 35 feet wide. It was huge. And by mistake, I said I'd like to change because it was surrounded by water. It had rained a lot, and water was all around in the grass. And I was afraid he was going to get into the water and get all muddy and nasty and then get on my bed and ruin it. So I said, do we have another spot that might be drier? So the only other spot open in the entire campground was this one, which was just 2 over, which is luckily. But it's a tiny little spot. It's only 30 feet long, so it fits the camper in the car fine. I like more room than that. And it's one of these ones that they bulldoze out a parking spot, so you end up in this little closet of a site. I was worried my steps weren't going to be able to fit, but we got in here and all right. And it's gravel and mud, and it's well used, so it's not the best. But anyways, we're fine. But we should have stayed in the other one because I'm sure the water would go away eventually, and it was pristine. And that other one, that's site 42, backs up to the bathhouse in the picnic area in the dock. So like, you know, it's all open area. You're not near anybody or anything. I don't know how I picked that, but the best sites I hope have gone by already, and there's some good ones. It's a neat campground. All the sites are in little cul-de-sacs, little circles, and some of them are pretty tight, but some of them are pretty nice. So let us get dressed and get fed, and we'll meet you outside. Morning, folks. It is about 8 o'clock, and this is the site we ended up staying at. As you can see, I don't like this wall here on either side of the trailer. It makes for much less space to walk around. We do have a picnic table and an area up here, but I'll show you the site we did have. And these are all neat sites. They're around these circles, and some of them are pretty close. But this is the site we did have. This is 42, and you can see that it's all concrete and it's all pretty up in the air. But when we got here, it was surrounded by water, and the water of course has gone away because it hasn't rained in 2 days. But this was a pretty nice site. Oh, this is 43. This isn't the site we had. This is the site we had. And let's say it didn't have a curve, but look at the length of this. This is a 65-foot site. Goes all the way back here. It's surrounded by trees for a kila. Nothing behind us. We could play ball and everything. So it was kind of stupid for us to give this up. They have these cute tables here. These are just neat. I don't know who built these, but every site has them. So this is kind of the basic site setup, and you can see that, you know, some of them are pretty close, but like this one, you're close to the next site, but you're really way back here away from everybody else. Here's the neighbor on the side, but he'd be on the back side of my trailer, so it's not a big deal. But now where I was is right there, and that's not too bad. You know, I'm kind of stuffed between trailers. The thing that makes it real poor for me, this trailer, this Pioneer trailer way over there, had 2 huskies, which were pretty well behaved, and they've got them in a big kennel fence area that's about 2 foot high, which they could easily have jumped out of, but they did not. They behaved, and they were good. But you can see this is kind of full. We'll give you a quick view of the bathrooms. You know what these bathrooms look like. They're really the nicest. However, every time I've gone in one, something bizarre inside has happened. Either the toilet was plugged with 60 pounds of toilet paper and whatever else was underneath. But this morning when I went in for a shower, it had obviously somebody had gone and tried to color their hair black and spilled it, and they cleaned it up, but I mean it was still all smeared all over the place. But so we give you the sites, the good sites, the best ones, like 42 there, and 43 is not bad either. Now 44 is right next to that great big monster, and you don't have any room. We're hooked up, we're hitched up, we're gonna lock up. Well, we got a dump, so let's go to the dump. So this is the bath shower house, and you can see there's 2 doors on either side, so I guess that makes 8 of them. And this is a handicap one, but they've got the
the prison vibe toilets and a nice shower, and they do have really nice shower heads. And they're really pretty clean, and they're just not too warm. The boat launch and day use area is in the sun over there. So see, in the morning when we get up in the dark, I can bring Aquila over here and he can run around for a minute amongst all these trees, and even we can walk down through that hedgerow and he can hide himself in the hedgerow and do what he does in there. Unfortunately, I can't pick it up because it's just buried in bushes, but nobody's ever going to find it or know it's in there, and nobody's going to step in it, which is my, I think that's the biggest issue. This is a pretty neat lake if you got a nice boat. If it wasn't 40 degrees, it'd probably be a lot of fun. And these sites down the lake are superb. They're up in the air so they won't flood or be soggy. But you're right on the lake, and you got, in a summer breeze, I imagine that's just super. We'll show you those a little better once we dump. These are some of the Lakeside sites. Boy, I'll tell you, on a warm, hot summer day, I'll bet these are just super nice. Not the best sites this week. There's a gray wolf on this site. I mean, look at that great big site. Now you can tell the water's a little high, and I think this is a flood control lake, but these are really nice sites. Now there's sites on the other side which aren't bad sites. I mean, they're all by themselves. They're just old sites. They're thin, narrow, and muddy. But these are like, look at this, perfect concrete up in the air. And this Swifty over here, look at that. That's a nice site. You might have to come back in the summer and see if it's a possibility. This is the other bathroom. This is your standard traditional bathroom with, 2 stalls and a shower. No heat or anything like that. I came over to see if it was heated. And of course the dumpster's right here. And then there's more circles. More circles of RVs, of campsites. So, and I listed the ones that I thought were decent over here. Again, a lot of it depends on where the door is facing, as far as I'm concerned. So, if your door is facing the right direction, you're in good shape. But lots of room to walk your dog. If you got a dog to walk, there's a lot of places to go. Well, folks, that's the pretty much the entire story on the Cedar Creek Recreation Area Campground just north of Nashville on Old Hickory Lake. It's a pretty nice campground. It's got pretty good hookups and bathrooms and all that, and there's pretty good spacing on the better sites. Some of the sites are pretty tight, but if you're in an RV, you're in your RV. A lot of people, I don't think, ever came out of the RV. They've got their satellite antennas and their Starlink set up, and they don't ever come out of the trailer. But it was cold. It was miserable weather. We didn't do too much. We did go down to the town and walk on the Greenway Trail, but it was really windy and cold, and I couldn't carry the camera and the leash because obviously on a in-town Greenway Trail, I gotta have him on a leash. And we did throw the ball, and we went to the library at the Mount Juliet Library, which was very nice. And they let me use their Wi-Fi, but it wasn't fast enough to upload a video. It would have taken 2.5 hours, and I didn't want to stay there that long. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a quickie, and just if you're looking at going past Nashville, there's a lot of good roads and things in the area. This is a good place to stay. It's cheap, 30 bucks. There are some $35 50 amp sites, and some of the premium along the lake I think maybe more. But otherwise it's a pretty nice campground. It's pretty convenient. And one of the things it's not is I stayed at another campground a couple weeks ago that was near a big city, and it was a state forest campground, and it was kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it had a lot of shall we call them individuals with less resources than they needed to have a successful life. And it was pretty gross. So this campground is surrounded by $1 million homes. No lie, you can go 4 miles in any direction, and you've got the yacht club, the country club, the $1 million homes. In fact, there's a development that said, you know, homes starting at $500,000, and that's just like the garage. So it's a really nice area. There's not a lot to do around there. If you don't have a boat, you're not fishing, you're not enjoying just sitting at the campfire, there's not a lot to do. But we were just traveling through from Great Smoky Mountains National Park, land between the lakes, and we enjoyed it. It was fun. We were real glad to have the electricity to keep the trailer warm, and we think it's a great place. So I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Leave me a comment if you think you'd stay in a place like this, and subscribe if you haven't. One of the things I'm going to have to do is I'm learning about YouTube a little more with my 9th year anniversary, and I'm learning that if you don't have advertisement on your videos, they will not promote your video, because obviously they make money off advertisements. So I'm going to have to add some advertisements to the middle of my video. Hopefully YouTube will not stick an ad every 5 minutes like they do on some videos, and I really hate that, and I'll have to take them off again, because that's hang out, stay with me. We got the land between the lakes coming up, and we've got Mark Twain National Forest after that. So hope to see you on the next video. Leave me a comment so I know you're there, and have a great day. We'll hope to see you on the road. Bye bye, folks.